necessary, say OK. There it is. Perfect. Before we do the file, we want to do the calibration. Okay. So go to Control, which is called Calibration. Say Digitize. Go back to Control and say Open Video. In this case, AVI file. And no, Calibrate.
Calibrate. Okay.
Say OK. And it says which one do you want. It doesn't matter. Choose number 1. Good. All right. Perfect. All right. So now it tells us here what we have to digitize. First thing is the fixed point. So digitize the fixed point. Right in the middle. And it's point number 1, which is this. Okay, go right around. And this is because that's the way we set it up.
Right.
We dictate how we're going to do things. Perfect. It says complete. Go up here until we're finished. Open up Control. Say finished. Okay. Now it brings back to the scheme. The next thing we do is go to automatic and global options, and we see what our options are here. In this case, we'll say unclick the auto advance for a second. So we'll have to manually advance it.
Okay.
In the case of a 2D, we must confirm we have every point.
Okay.
If we have 3 cameras, we don't have to confirm every point. We only need 2. That's very good. This is fine. This tells us what the search diameters are.
Okay.
In this case, that's perfectly fine. Say OK.
On your protocols, will you have the protocols for me for here for the
exactly.
search? Okay.
Say OK. And there's 2 ways to do it. One is manually, one is automatic. So we want the automatic to kick in. So say go. And OK. And then look down here, it tells you what to do.
Okay, so first point, which is here, so you want me to go ahead and click it again?
Now, because we're doing automatic, it takes the whole area and finds the dead center of it. So it's much more accurate like that.
Okay.
So that's good, say OK. And then it doesn't matter which one is point 1, you choose.
Okay, so let's go. Okay, and you just say that's okay.
Yeah.
And over here.
Okay.
That's the column from 2. This one didn't automatically calibrate it in the middle, or did it?
No,
That's
it did.
the picture.
That's
okay.
the same picture.
Same picture. Okay.
Now, once you get confidence in this,
Yeah, you can fly. Yeah.
you don't have to go to that. You can actually go up here and where it says locate dialog, that's that little box that comes up. You can actually unclick that. No, it's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So if we were to do it again, I would probably do that. So I don't want to take that much time.
Okay.
All right. But we're okay now. So you've got the first frame digitized. It says complete.
Okay.
Now press the forward arrow here, and you went to the next frame, but it automatically found the points.
Okay.
So go to the next frame. So now I'm convinced that everything's good. It's finding the points like
Now
crazy.
let's say if it's off.
All right. If it doesn't find the point, then you just manually click on the point.
Or if I'm not pleased with how it's sent. Or is that not really?
Yeah. Sure, it happens. What you can do is, if it found it automatically and you're not pleased, you hold down the control key, and then you put it over the point, and I hold down the left key, and now I can put that anywhere I want. I can reposition it. Yeah. Or, in fact, sometimes, for some reason, if it loses its way, and you want to redesignate what that point is, you say Shift, and then I hit this, and I tell it, okay, this is point number 2. Okay. Right? Yeah. Okay. So now it knows again that that's point number 2.
Is there? Does it key you in up here? Like, what would I do rather than doing the whole shift key thing?
I don't know. I never use these, but
no,
I'm sure
no.
they're all there.
You have to use the shift or the control.
Yeah. Shift and control.
But there is a place there where it gives you all the shortcuts.
So it's shift control to correct to the point. Okay.
and then shift to correct to redesignate the point, but control to correct it.
Okay.
Okay. Shift to redesignate, control to move it.
Okay.
All right. So now, like I said, we're convinced that it's finding the points great, but I don't want to waste all this time doing this manually. So now I can come up to automatic. You can do it. Global options, and I'll say auto advance. So when it finds it, it goes ahead. Okay, that's fine. Everything's good. Say OK. Now go ahead and advance to the next one and watch what happens. Done. It's amazingly fast. And what's happened here is I've preset. You can go to a transformation, which makes it a 3D file, and you can go to filter it on your own,
Okay.
or you can designate this to do it automatically. In most situations, it'll do it automatically. But if you have a very difficult case that you're doing, and you want to maybe smooth it out a little bit better, you can do that by hand. We'll go over that later. But for now, cancel that. Under options on Digi 4, I have already indicated that I wanted to go ahead and smooth it automatically, analyze it after transformation.
What do you mean by smoothing it automatically?
Smoothing is filtering. You have two processes that have to happen.
Would that be like blur or?
Okay, let's say your foot is moving forward on this path right here, right?
Okay.
And I digitize the foot here, and then the next frame I'm a little bit off.
Okay.
Digit up there, and next one I'm up here, and maybe I'm here, and maybe I'm here. If I say smooth that to a factor of 1,
Just gonna average it in.
what it does is it averages it so that it makes them all come on.
Yeah, this square average.
Okay.
All right.
It's taking out the variance there.
Yeah. So if you do it by hand, you don't do it automatically, and it doesn't have automatic detection like that, then it's the chances are you're not going to be as accurate. But in this case, we're very accurate.
Okay.
And then I have to tell it what factor do I want to smooth it by. So in this case, I'm using a process called Quintic Spline, and I'm telling it 1 inch, and 1 inch is way too much because we only have 12 inches. So I'm going to say
Point two.
Right. Point 2 is plenty. That means every point, the points here, anything within 0.2 inches is going to bring it to 1 point.
Okay.
And that's plenty. So I'll say OK, OK. Now I've got it set up. I just have to go DLT. It's the same thing. It was asking me to do automatically. I'll just press DLT.
Direct linear transformation is DLT.
What does the DLT stand for? Digital?
Direct linear transformation.
Okay.
It's a mathematical process of making the file a 3D file. Hold on a second. Should have gone filtering. Okay, I didn't do something right, but it still works. The ball's going in and out.
Right.
I want to see all the each view. It's like that. Each frame. So now I want to find out why it didn't filter correctly. It's probably something stupid I did here. So let's go back to the options. Digi 4. DLTs. Smooth zone after value using default value. And display. And I have the default value. Okay, let's try again. Sharing violation occurred. Okay. So I don't know what we'll find out, but now I have to smooth it, and it didn't do it automatically. So what I can do is I can go to the program called filtering.